Michael Klinger struck a sensational century as his Gloucestershire side chased down a target of 251 in just 37.2 overs to defeat Leicestershire by 9 wickets with 10 balls to spare at Grace Road. After day 3's washout, Leicestershire began the last one on 12 without loss in their second innings with a lead of just 21. They lost Greg Smith in the morning's first full over as he edged a drive off Liam Norwell to Geraint Jones before he'd added to his overnight score of 10. Angus Robson had a reason to be batting with a smile on his face after his older brother Sam was included in the first Test squad of the summer for England. Angus celebrated well by getting his side off to a good start on a day which many would have thought would drift towards a tame draw. Robson was playing brightly, producing some tremendous shots to show that his game continues to improve, just as his brother's has over the last couple of years. The 22-year-old has been his county's most consistent batsman this summer, with his closest rival in terms of runs scored being Ned Eckersley. He added another 34 runs to his season's tally, his runs coming off only 37 deliveries, as he and Robson took the total to 77 after 19 overs. Although Leicestershire were trying to score their runs quickly, Will Gidman was his usual mean self, and he ended this promising partnership by having Eckersley caught behind for his 31st wicket of the championship season. In the same spell, he should have made it to 32, but Robson was spilled in the slips, much to the bowler's frustration. Lunch was taken with the home side on 115 for 2 with a lead of 124, and after 5 more runs were added, Ramnaresh Sarwan nicked off to Benny Howell after making 24. It was turning out to be quite a day for the Robson family, with Angus going on to record his 5th 50 of the season. This shot brought him his 9th boundary in an innings which had thus far lasted for 123 deliveries. Robson had also passed 400 runs for the championship summer, and the only thing he was missing now was his maiden 100 in the first-class game. He has come close to achieving that on a couple of occasions this year, and he was giving himself a chance here as he continued to play some excellent shots as the sun came out at last. Just like his brother, Angus plays his square cuts especially well, as proven by these pictures. He'd now been joined by Josh Cobb, who's a man who likes to play his shots. He was given a licence to do that here as Leicestershire, rather than just batting out the last day, were looking to try to set up a chase for their opponents later on during the afternoon. Robson moved to the highest score of his career and moved to within 1 boundary of his maiden 100. But after facing 186 balls in just short of 4 hours, he missed a delivery from Tom Smith and was LBW. He couldn't quite believe it, but it was still a great day for the Robsons, and one they won't forget in a hurry. Rob Taylor was brought up the order to give the ball a bit of a biff, and biff it he did as he twice sent balls flying over the boundary for 6s, as 40 more runs were added in just 22 balls. The runs were coming at quite a lick now, with Sarwan ready to call them in. Before he did, Cobb made it to a 50 off 77 deliveries, an innings including 6 fours. He'd done his job well enough to give his captain the opportunity to have a session at the Gloucestershire batsman just to see what the home attack could manage. When Taylor was caught at long off by Alex Gidman off Smith for a rapid 24, the innings was ended at tea on 241 for 5, and that gave Gloucestershire 39 overs to try to get 251 runs at a rate of 6.4 per over. It looked unlikely that they would get anywhere close, but their intentions were made clear with a change in the batting order, which saw Klinger come out first with Alex Gidman. And what a decision it was, as these two were soon off and running, giving their side the ideal start, just the one they were looking for. Crucially, neither were out early, and that would have given them the confidence they required for such a chase. They were helped a little though, with Charlie Shrek unable to bowl because of injury. These two brought up the 50 in just the 8th over, and after 15 had been bowled, the visitors were going along very nicely indeed on 89 without loss, with both batsmen finding the boundary on numerous occasions, and with Klinger already reaching his half-century. The Australian had a magnificent season with the bat last year, but this summer's been a bit of a struggle for him. He picked his moment to find his form, however, with his 50 coming off only 54 deliveries, 8 of which he'd sent crashing to the boundary. He'd had the majority of the strike at this point and had made the most of it. The 100 was brought up in the 18th over, with Klinger lifting this ball from Jigger Nake over the long off boundary for a 6. The Gloucester start had now become a dream one, and they were giving themselves a great chance. The opening partnership of 107 was finally ended in the 19th over, when Gidman sliced a hit off Taylor out to Smith to go for 37, which had been made off 43 deliveries. So 143 were needed from the last 20 overs, and in these days of T20 cricket and with only 1 wicket down, Gloucestershire would have fancied their chances. Klinger offered one opportunity before he launched into Nake again, striking his second 6 as he moved into the 80s and to his best score of the season to date. He'd been joined now by Howell, who's already hit the joint fastest 50 of the season off 25 balls. He was in at number 3 and was soon playing some magnificent shots to keep his side up with the required rate. He timed his strokes very well, twice clearing the rope in successive overs as the target was reduced to just 60 off the last 8 overs. Howell made it to a 50 off 41 balls this time, and in the next over, the 33rd, Klinger reached 3 figures for the first time this summer. It was some innings from the Gloucestershire skipper, who timed his knock to perfection, getting to his mark off 109 balls with 10 4s and 2 6s included. His celebration was mooted as his job was not completed yet. Head back down, he took 4 4s off the next couple of overs to take what was a decent chance of winning into a very good one indeed. It had been a sensational and quite unexpected chase. Remember, Gloucestershire hadn't even started their innings until after tea on the last day. 20 were wanted off the last 4 overs, and Niall O'Brien fell to his knees as Klinger was dropped for a second time at mid-wicket. Howell too was missed late on, but by then the visitors had probably done enough in any case. That target was dropped to 10 runs off 3 overs, and then 3 off the last couple. It was left to Howell to complete what was an astonishing win for his team. His third maximum took Gloucestershire over the line with 10 balls to spare, as they made 255 for 1 off only 37.2 overs, Klinger ending on a magnificent 129 from 124 balls, while Howell raced to 78 off just 59. They were absolutely right to celebrate in this manner. So it was an incredible 9-wicket win for the Gloucesters, who took 21 points from this game to move into 3rd place in the 2nd Division table, 31 points off the promotion spots. For Leicestershire, that was a 2nd defeat from 3 games, and they're still left waiting for their first win in this competition for more than 2 years. Ahead of their game with bottom club Derbyshire on Sunday, they took 5 points here. Gloucestershire next entertains Surrey in Bristol, a match which starts on Monday.